Hey everyone, today I'm going to be going over like Survivor basics. I spent a lot of time in solo queue earlier, so if I sound a little frustrated in this video, I'm sure you can imagine why. I just wanted to hit the solo queue just to try and like just get some basics for like advice I give to like newer players or players that aren't on teams, players that aren't generally like sweating, playing super competitive. So I mean, first things first, same thing I even said with my Demon one, guys, this game's hard. This game is competitive, it's not casual. If you're coming from like the Dead by Daylight community or like, a lot of more relaxed games, this might not be for you guys. It's a pretty difficult game. A lot of demons have definitely picked up on how to play demon. A lot of them are still really dumb at the book. They don't go for the book for whatever reason. But a lot of them have got to pick it up. So like the demon play definitely picked up since launch. I think when the game first came out, it seemed like in solo queue, you could win almost like every single game. You could hard carry by yourself, basically, but it's pretty tough to do that nowadays. So what we'll do is just go over a lot of tips. I think one of the biggest issues with the game right now is everyone's crying about balance this, balance that, balance that. I think the biggest issue is honestly just the majority of the players just don't know how to play the game. Like they're missing like the fundamentals, the basics, just like kind of just like all the tips, all the way from basics to like expert tips. They're just missing like everything. I think Saber should actually like redo the tutorial, rehaul it. Maybe throw Swing Point some money or something. That guy's amazing at making videos. I know like Resistance, he basically taught Resistance how to play that game. But yeah, the tutorial is very lacking. Players are going into this game having no idea how to play. Players have even spent a lot of time in this game, and they're still missing like the most basic things in this game, and they're making it extremely hard on the Survivor end. So what I'll do is kind of just like go through the game, and then try and give out as much advice as I can. So like first things first, when you load in, guys, make sure you're picking like a good team, okay? I see so many games are literally ruined just at the character select screen. So like, right then and there, you can win and lose just off that, okay? So first things first, that's what I say, stay away from leaders, guys. Leaders are there to buff your teammates, and they're not very good themselves, but they make your teammates a lot better. When you're playing solo, duo, something like that, your teammates probably aren't very good, right? So buffing them isn't actually going to do anything. So like, instead of like, buffing them with Annie, you may as well just go play a hunter and just kill everything with a gun, right? Instead of playing Arthur, you may as well just pick a warrior, right? So stay away from leaders, guys. Leaders are very bad in solo queue, duo queue. I know a lot of them are like people's favorites, like Leader Ash, Arthur, Annie. A lot of people love those characters. Guys, if you're picking leaders in solo queue, you're putting the team far behind. You're buffing basically nothing a lot of the time. So stay away from leaders. Try and spread the team out, right? Like, so trying to at least get one hunter, one warrior. And then play Cheryl for your support, guys. I see a lot of people picking Pablo, a lot of people picking support Ash. They're not like terrible characters or that bad, but when you're playing like solo, you want to optimize and be as strong as possible. And Cheryl's definitely the best at healing the whole team. So she's got the bigger range, she's got the plus 100 on the Cola, and then obviously her ability, she can do that as well. So for your support, guys, stay away from Pablo, stay away from support Ash. They're not going to help you in the solo queue life, okay? As far as hunters, you can go for all the hunters. They're all really good. There's not really necessarily a bad one. I'd recommend the two most helpful to the team, which is going to be Hunter Ash, just due to his kicking the possession out, and then Ed, who can get rid of traps, and then he's gonna hopefully give you better loot. So those two hunters are probably the most team-oriented ones, Hunter, Ash, and then Ed as well. Then when it comes to warrior, guys, stay away from Scotty, okay? Like, Scotty's my most favorite character right now. I think he's the most fun to play. But Henry is by far the strongest warrior, okay? So his ability, his 7 seconds of vulnerability, has so much utility, it's crazy. So he can turn it on, run into a car, get away. He can get the pickup. He can get the revive. He can last the last 7 seconds in a zone to kick the demon out. He can even turn it on and go offensive with it. Like, don't be scared to even use it offensively, guys. I see a lot of people just holding it for usually just pickups and downs. You can turn it on and go beat up the boss, right? Turn it on and then go beat up Evil Ash. Turn it on and go chase down the possession and put some damage on them for free 7 seconds. So definitely if you're going Warrior, go Henry. Warrior Ash is still good as well. Henry is above him, but guys, again, Scotty is definitely lacking, and what we're trying to do here is get you as many wins as possible in solo queue. So go Henry first. If they already pick a Henry, 2 Warriors is still good on the team. So go Warrior Ash second, and then just leave Scotty out of it, guys. So right then and there, the character selection is massive. I see so many teams, like in solo queue, they'll pick like 3 leaders, 3 supports, 3 hunters. Like, don't do that, guys. Try and have the team spread out. I know you can't control what everyone else is picking, but hopefully everyone else gets the memo, and you should be doing Cheryl as support, Henry as the warrior, and then either Ed or Hunter Ash as the hunter, and then whatever as the 4 spot. So make sure the team is correct there. And then second, once you guys load into the game, we'll go as basic as possible. The demon doesn't know where you guys are. So a good demon on the castle map will know where you are, but that's kind of an expert tip, so we'll skip that. But as far as the other 2 maps, the demon doesn't know where you guys are when you start it. So the only way he can find you, without just flying around and randomly finding you, it's 2 things. It's if you shoot your gun or if you get into a car. So both of those are going to tell the demon where you are. So you got to need to think very, very stealthily once the game starts. You want to just run around and melee as much as possible. So if you shoot your gun, you're going to be telling the demon where you are. If you hop into a car, you're going to be telling the demon where you are. So you guys don't want to do that. You want to stay as stealthy as possible, and then you'll know once the demon's on you. You'll hear like a very loud growl. So once you hear that growl, just know that he's on you. And then once the game starts, you want to slowly start walking towards the first objective. So first the map piece. You don't want to just hop in a car and run there. And then this is major. This is where I think most games get ended and most games basically get ruined. Stick with your team, guys. Like, stay with your team. This is not like a solo looter, I'm going to go kill the demon by myself and grab all the map pieces by myself type of game. Like, no, requires coordination and teamwork. So all 4 of you should always be together. You guys should not be across the map from each other. You should not be running off to a separate area. I think we've all seen the people who just run off on their own, die, disconnect, and those people probably rinse and repeat it in every game, and then they say the game sucks, right? Stay with your team, guys. Being with your team is absolutely massive. It's absolutely game-changing. It gives you guys the 4 survivors working together as a team. It's so much stronger than the demon. So, like, my team, for instance, like, we don't even use cars. We don't generally care what the demon level is. He can be max level. We'll just use coordination and teamwork and still beat him. So even though you guys are solo queue, you guys can still do that, right? So make sure you are staying together. My third advice, right off rip too, is turn the mics on, guys. Almost every time I've turned the mic on, I've gotten very positive feedback. There's always usually 1 or 2 people in the game with mics. Everyone I've met in this game has been very, very nice. So don't be shy. Don't be nervous to talk. I've met a lot of friends, a lot of cool people, a lot of really good players in this game too. So definitely turn the mic on, guys. Like coordination is key, and it helps a lot as well. And then as you guys are like moving for the map pieces, make sure you're tagging things, okay? So you can hit the mark button, so you can use this on crates, colas, weapons. Make sure you're doing this, okay? Because if you find a crate and you're not near your teammates, they're not going to know that it's there, okay? Once you open it, it no longer makes that sound. So if you find any sort of crate, make sure you're marking it. And then as far as like the loot that you're finding, make sure you guys are actually divvying up like correctly, okay? So warriors, you should give them the best melee weapons. The hunters, give them the best guns. Whatever's like left, like kind of gives to your support, so they kind of get last dibs. But guys, that's very important. The only times I see like a hunter run up and pick up like the purple lumberjack axe, or I see like the warrior take like the purple boomstick. Like, you guys have to divvy up the weapons and the items like such as Cola's amulets correctly. If you're not doing that, you guys are gonna lose. This isn't, you grab everything for yourself and you make yourself as strong as possible. It's not how that works. So again, you want to make sure your warriors are getting the best melee weapons that are showing, so tag it for them. If you find a great melee weapon and you're a hunter, tag it for that warrior. let him come grab it, or even pick it up, bring it to him, and drop it for him and give it to him. And then vice versa. Make sure the hunters are getting the best guns as well. And then again, we're not doing leaders in solo queue, guys. So we're no leaders. And then support, just kind of get support the leftover. So sorry, support. And then also what's really important too is even if you're a warrior, pick up ammo, guys. Everyone on the team needs to pick up ammo, okay? Even if you're a warrior, you plan on picking up no guns, you don't even want to hold a gun, you don't ever want to shoot a gun the whole game, it's perfectly fine, but still make sure you're getting ammo. It is not really that possible for a hunter on his own to constantly carry enough ammo to hard carry, guys. So like even on teams, the most coordinated teams, everyone is grabbing ammo and everyone is sharing it, okay? And then if you guys hold, I'm not sure what the button would be on like any other system, it's like L1 on PlayStation, you can pull up a menu and ask for things. So don't be afraid to use that as well. I know some people get annoying with it and they just keep spamming it. But if you need ammo, make sure you hit it. Like, tell your team you need ammo. If you are on support and you're running low on colas, you're running low on amulets, let them know. If you're a warrior and you don't have amulets, hit the amulet button. Like, let your team know. So you can use those to let your team know. And a lot of times they'll give it to you. Like obviously sometimes you're going to get no response and that stinks, that sucks. But a lot of times when I've hit it, when I've asked for ammo, I've gotten the ammo. So don't be afraid to use that and let the teammates know, like, hey, I need some ammo. Because, you know, it's really hard to win if the whole team isn't coordinating all the resources, okay? So one player can't really just go grab everything they need, right? Support needs help, you need to drop them colas, hunters need ammo, and then warriors don't really need much. I recommend you give them the amulets just because in the upgrade they get the 2, which can really help out a lot. But okay. So then, as you guys are like getting the map pieces, try and get as much loot as possible. Grab everything, okay? So even things you don't plan on using, just grab it. Grab everything. And then, again, you want to start staying as a team. And then what's really important too, I know this is going to drive a lot of the demon mains crazy, is cars are really strong, guys. They're really strong for keeping you alive, and they're really strong just for kind of disrupting the demon trying to do what he's trying to do, which is kill you, right? So as you guys are looting, and as you guys are moving through the map, always pay attention to where the nearest car is, okay? So in my mind, I never want to get too far away from the nearest car. So even if I'm like, oh, there's a house over there, there might be a crate in there, there might be some good loot that I need, I probably won't go to that house if I see it's nowhere near a car, right? Because if the demon comes on me and I get caught in that house and I'm not near the car, I'm dead. Now the game's, you know, not necessarily over, but the game's going to be extremely difficult because I got down early, and I did it because I was trying to get loot and I wasn't paying attention to where cars are. So always be looking at the map for like where the nearest car is, and try not to go too far from it, guys. Like, try and stay in proxies of cars, and then if you hear that growl, the first thing you should be doing is sprinting for that car. Book it for that car, beeline it for the car, get in that car and go, okay? That's the other thing I see like a lot of newer players, a lot of solo players struggle with is, you know, they love the action, it's super fun, which it definitely is, but they just want to fight, okay? The demon can just go grab energy that's going to respawn on the map again and again, so they almost technically kind of have like infinite energy. You do not have infinite resources as a survivor, okay? So there's only a limited amount of colas on the map, there's only a limited amount of ammo on the map. It may seem like there's a tremendous amount, and there definitely is a tremendous amount in the castle, but it is still limited, okay? And the orbs for the demon do respawn, so he technically has infinite, okay? So, like, you don't want to just sit there, fight. You definitely want to keep it moving, okay? The times, like, where you want to fight are on the zones, on the objectives. So that's, like, your pages, that's your dagger, that's the dark ones. Any other time, you kind of just want to, like, fight as minimum as possible and just keep it moving in a car as much as possible. Like, that is key, guys. And then, basically, it's pretty simple. Like, once you get the map pieces, you're gonna get the dagger up, and you're gonna get the pages up as well. Generally, the dark ones on the first 2 maps, they're gonna spawn in the southern hemisphere. So, like, if you look at like half the map below, that's where it's gonna spawn, right? So if you see the dagger or you see a page up top on the original 2 maps, you want to do those objectives first, okay? Because what you don't want to end up happening is like you do the objective near the bottom, right? Like the bottom of the map. The dark ones are actually on the bottom as well. Then you go from the bottom of the map. You have to go all the way back up to the top, do that objective, right? Finish that, and then you got to go from that one all the way back down to the dark ones, right? So it's much easier on the original 2 map if you just go from like the top, finish that, do the second objective that's like whatever in the middle of the map, and then you move down bang to the dark one. So this way you're not like having to travel across the map again and again. And then I do not recommend split pushing, which is basically where the team splits up for the objectives. If you're playing solo queue, guys, like, do not do that. There's so many times where I was like, it was even on the big map, and I remember it was like the junkyard top left, and then it was Mama's Liquor's bottom right. The demon was like a rank 4 or 5 at the time, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll split off my team, right? It was like a Henry and a Warrior after the Cheryl. I'm like, oh, they'll be fine. It's like a rank 5 Necro. They should be fine, right? No, they got obliterated in seconds, okay? Like, so as much as like split pushing is really, really strong and definitely a really good idea in a competitive team format, it's a terrible thing to do in solo, okay? Like, as much as you probably think the team should be able to handle whatever's going on, like the demon's even like rank 3 or something super low, they'll probably end up dying, guys. Like, they probably need your help. So try not to split push whatsoever in solo queue. Always go with your team. And then the other thing too I see duo messed up is get in the cars, guys. Like, get in the cars. Like, you know how many times I go to pick up a random player and he refuses to get in the car? He just wants to fight. Like, don't be that guy, guys. Like, do not be that guy. If your team's getting in cars, the demon's there, the demon's on you, and it's time to go, okay? Don't go grab that, like, 5 handgun ammo for the handgun you don't even have, right? Like, get in the car and go. Do not be that guy who holds up the team and basically screws everyone over because you're lollygagging, okay? Everyone else is probably scrambling for the car. You should be as well. Pay attention, guys. Like, definitely pay attention when the demon's on, and definitely think when the demon's on you, car. That should be all that's on your mind. Sprint for that car, okay? And then, as terrible as it sounds, you guys might want to get used to this. As you see on, like, the screen, a lot of players disconnect. Like, a lot. I would say when I play Demon, I get a disconnect basically almost every game. So I think it's almost more rare when I don't get a disconnect. And then when I play Survivor, I would say it's probably about 1 every 3 games. So those are just, like, the personal odds for me. Of course, someone else is going to be higher or lower. But if you're playing, like, solo, duo in this game, you might want to get used to the fact that you're not going to be playing on a full team, which it sucks, it stinks, it's super unfair. Me as a demon, I'll generally even let, like, people just go all the way to the end. I don't break the book. I basically just let them win, give them free spirit points, because I feel it's not fair their teams are dicks. But I'm probably, like, the only Knight demon who does that, so don't expect, like, kind courtesy. Demons, a lot of times, teammates quit, and it's like the demon goes on steroids, and he wants to kill you even quicker, so... get used to that, guys. So that's what I'm saying. Like, team comps are super important. You know, get your Cheryls, get your Henrys, get your Hunter Ashes, and get your Eds, okay? Those, like, even if the 4th person leads, that's like your 3. It's like 3 of those 4, the Hunter, the Warrior, and Cheryl. Like, if your team, you could still be alright, guys. And then basically, like, you need to manage all the resources, okay? So I know I already went over this earlier, but like when you're in these zones and stuff, guys, like make sure you're managing everything. If you have like handgun ammo, drop it and mark it, right? If you have a bunch of extra colas, just drop it and mark it. Whenever I play, I personally only carry like 1 cola on me, just in case of an emergency, but any extra cola, the 2 extra colas I pick up, I give the Cheryl every time, so... If you have like a good Cheryl on your team and you see the Cheryl's like drinking colas, like help her out. You don't necessarily need to carry all 3 colas at all time and then give her the extras. Like, you can give her the 2 of yours and trust her to heal you. So that's super important as well. And then pretty much, like, guys, try not to give up. I've seen a lot of circumstances where, like, it doesn't look good. Your teammate went down. He got murdered early. The demon's, like, levels just skyrocketing. He then disconnects. Like, try not to give up, guys. I know a lot of times it seems really tough. It seems rough. The demons are pretty vicious. They're like a bunch of pit bulls, right? But don't get, like, discouraged. Don't give up. Definitely just try and keep fighting. You never really know what happens. Like, this game gets crazy, right? Like, you know, it's me... This Kelly was like brand new. I think she was like a rank 13, and then this just a Cheryl as well. So basically, I'm like the only real damage because Kelly's just brand new, so she don't really got the perks. Probably doesn't really know too much what's going on. Like you'll see her, she's like melee even more than she's shooting. God bless her heart. So. Definitely try not to give up, guys. You never know what could happen. And then the other thing too is make sure you guys got your builds right. I'll do some build videos later on, but make sure you have like actual good builds, which is I guess tough to say without telling you what to run. But builds are massive. Like the perks in this game change everything. So like the low rank survivors, I'm sorry that's why it's so tough. The low rank demons, I'm sorry that's why it's so tough. Is the perks like change the game, right? Like. You could have the best team in this game run perkless, you're probably not going to win, okay? Like, the perks are massive, so you got to make sure you have your build set up right. And then make sure you're leveling up your pink F correctly as well. So generally what's like really important for the pink F, I'll go with warriors first. So warriors, what's really important is melee, shield, and then the 2 points in stamina, so you get your extra dodge. So the melee's pretty self-forward. It's going to give you just the more melee damage, so that's huge because you can get an extra bonus just for pink F. The shields are massive. Once they get to tier 5 on the warrior, they actually give you 2 bars per amulet. So instead of just you pop 1 amulet and you get 1 shield bar, now all of a sudden you get 2. So besides Henry, you can just take 2 of those on like Scotty, Warrior Ash, and bang, now you're full bar. So that's huge, and then the stamina on the warrior is really big too, because once you put the 2 points in it, you're gonna get your extra dodge, okay? So that's really, really big, because I know a lot of warriors think they're big tanks, they want to take hits, but the real way to play warrior is like dodge the hit the possession, dodge the hit the possession, and then start tanking, because you're out of dodges at that point. So look at those first. After that, I would go into health after that. Maybe fear if it's a puppeteer, but obviously you don't really need the range that much, it's not that important. And then once you go to hunter, guys, what I recommend you do, especially if you're a newer player and solo player, is go for your stamina first. The reason I recommend that is it's going to help you just stay alive. Once you get used to the dodging, you can actually dodge a lot in this game. Like, you can dodge a tremendous amount of attacks. A lot of them are very slow, a lot of them are very telegraphed. And dodging is what's going to keep you alive. It's going to allow you to like dodge, get to a railing, jump it, dodge, get to a car, get in it, just dodge while your teammates kill. So I'd go stamina and then range, and then I'd go right into fear. So those 3 are the most important on hunter, which is stamina, the range for the extra damage, and then once you tier 5 the range, you'll get the reload speed as well, so that's really important, and then fear. And then speaking of fear with hunters, guys, drop your guns, okay? If you get jump scared, drop the gun. If you see you're about to get feared, drop your gun. You're gonna hear like a lot of people cry that it's like an exploit or a cheat. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. There is nothing in this game, absolutely nothing, that tells us that it is not intended to drop your weapon. Okay, so anyone who tries to say it's an exploit cheat, it's a total jerk. It's a jerk thing to say, because they know better, and they should be knowing that there's nothing in this game that tells you you shouldn't be dropping it. Okay, so it's clearly not an exploit, which is doing something that's unintended in the game. So that's massive, because the hunter getting possessed with the weapon can easily change the game. Okay, so drop your weapon, pick it back up. And then for the other people too, if you ever see your hunter drop the gun, like don't steal their gun, guys. I see this all the time where like the hunter doesn't want to kill the team, so they drop it, and then like the random Pablo picks it up, and now he has like the best gun in the game, and he doesn't give it back to the hunter. So don't be that guy either. The hunter's doing you a favor dropping it, so don't steal their gun. And then when it comes to support, generally what I upgrade is like everything on the bottom. So I'll be looking at getting my shields up, the fear, and then the stamina as well. So, and then I'll go into health. The damage should be one of the last things you guys do. Damage isn't necessarily that important on support. Really, it's their support. So really, like, the best thing you can do is stack into everything that breaks balance bar, as far as the perks go, and then really it's just, you know, stun, get your stuns, and then heal your teammates. So that's like your main goal as support, guys. It's just keeping your teammates alive. And I do see a lot of support people just not heal. I'm not sure if people aren't aware of this, but guys, drinking colas near your teammate as support heals them as well. Cheryl actually gives them an extra 100 health, and she can even lower their fear when she drinks it as well. So if you're playing support, just make sure you're aware that like drinking colas near your teammates is your primary job. It's not necessarily fighting. It's not even really doing the objectives. Your main primary goal when you play support is to hold on to as many colas and amulets and take those near your teammates and provide them to your teammates. And then with the pink F, go along the bottom row, get your shields up, get your fear, get your stamina, get your health. Basically, just get everything to keep your support alive, because if you're staying alive, then your teammates are going to stay alive. So that's really like the most important things with the pink F. And the other things that are important too, like you're the fire. So if you guys ever see your fear going up, the fires are actually going to take care of all that, right? So if you see your fear going up, make sure you get to a fire, light it. And then you can also be a good teammate too. Like say you see your teammate, their fear's going up, you're the closest one to the fire, light it for them, throw the mark on the ground next to it. You know, do them a favor, like get that lit for them, because you never know, they pick up his ass to kill you. So you lighting that fire for your teammate can save your life as well. And pretty much, this game is actually pretty nutty, by the way, just watching it back. Yeah. Basically just 3 of us holding off this puppeteer. So shout out to everyone in this game. The Kelly was like brand new. I think the Cheryl's at 25. This puppet played really, really good. This game gets absolutely super close. I was so glad I was Henry. If I was anyone but Henry, we're probably not winning this game. But yeah, as far as other tips too, guys, you can always open the map, look at the map. You can see where like buildings are near you. Generally where all the loot spawns is in buildings. So like when you open the map, you see buildings, head for those. And then I would try and get familiar with like where the loot spots are too. So the crates are randomized every game, but there is only like a specific places that they will spawn. So, you know, where the crate is in one game, it may not be the next game, but the game after that will be. So definitely try and memorize where the crates are, because they can, you know, spawn in the area again and again. And then they are RNG, so it's not like, you know, you found a legendary here, the very next game will be a legendary. It could be a common as well. So definitely try and memorize where all the crates are. That's huge. It'll actually help you on teaming too, because trapping those will give you a ton of XP. And then pretty much like at the dark ones, guys, the newest meta that you have to do is 99 it. I don't think we do it in this, and I know it's like not really something that happens in solo, but if it's ever possible, like you're on the mic or coordinating, just make sure you guys 99 the dark ones. Like the last thing you want to do is get here and then get book keys. Like a lot of the quote-unquote top demons, like they're only winning because they're rushing the book, they're doing the book cheese, which is basically they can hit it prior to even being able to stop them, and they're gonna chip like 10 to 20% off, which is massive. It's really hard to come back from that. And then yeah, and then I would also like go get used to like what weapon works best on who, right? So like if you have a Scotty on your team, try and give him the lumberjack axe. If you have a hunter ash, like try and get him the double barrel. If you have a warrior ash, try and get him the chainsaw. So these weapons can make a pretty big difference in the right hands. They get extra like attack speed, balance bar, dismemberment, and then just raw damage as well. So if you find like, you know, a weapon that technically belongs to like another character, try and get it to them. So like even the meat hammer, like a high level meat hammer on Kelly can actually go pretty nutty. If you get like the legendary meat hammer on Kelly, like she can whoop some butt with it, guys. So like try and get yourself familiar with like whose weapon is who, and what works best for them as well. And then pretty much this game gets nuts. Like over here, it's just me at the end. I'll show you like a little trick. It's probably annoyed to kill the demon, but you guys can use cars to like your advantage, like a massive advantage. So like you can run around them, you can park them in zones. The AI gets really stupid near them. Especially if you go into a zone, you park like 2 of them in the zone. The AI gets really dumb, its pathing gets really stupid. So like you guys can use cars to your advantage just to like maneuver around them, keep the demon off you. Like, they're awesome for getting away, they're awesome for going to the next point, but don't forget, like, you can park them in combat zones and use them to your advantage. Like, I think I'd die here. If I didn't have that car parked here, I wasn't able to, like, kind of move around it. I don't think I live here. So this car basically saved my life. Basically won us the game as well. So just like a few of the basic tips, try to get as many out as possible. But yeah, I mean, the game's brutal right now as far as solo queue. The people who are crying like buff demon, like go play solo queue for like 2 hours, like 2-3 hours. So I see a lot of these demon mains be like, oh, buff demon, and then they go play survivor, but they're on a 4-man team. No, you guys, like go play solo queue for a very extended amount of time, stream it, live stream it on your YouTube so everyone can see it, and then go, let's get a demon buff. So this game definitely needs better tutorial, and we gotta help the new players out, guys. If we don't help the new players, they don't have a good time, like, this game will die very quickly. New players are the lifeline. So thank you guys again. Have a good night.